Oh, yeah. Wait, ladies and gentlemen, I am the Hebrew Hammer. My name is Mike Brown. I am live in the H-Town. But this is all about bottoms up, fins up. My name is Mike. That's Pops. Pops, what's going down?
Michael, thanks for having me. Very excited to be on a forum where we won't get criticized for talking 100% Dolphins, man.
I mean, that's entirely true. So people know us as Beer Sports, whatever, but we have now transitioned to Bottoms Up, Fins Up podcast, right? We still got Beer Sports, whatever, going for the next couple of weeks, but our next project is Bottoms Up, Fins Up. We are so excited to be a part of this new platform with Bobby and the rest of the team. First of all, they have been absolutely phenomenal at the Fins Talk Network since we have joined a couple days ago. Been a whirlwind, did a show on Tuesday. We are excited to be here. Okay, so we're going to introduce ourselves first. Again, my name's Mike Brown. That's my pops. That's my actual dad. Okay, well, we haven't seen like the DNA test. Like
the DNA is close enough, Michael. I think we're good.
Oh, that's very fair. But let's introduce the Fins Talk Network to us, to you and I. You go first.
Okay.
Talk about who you are besides being, the legend that is Lewis Brown amongst Sugarland, Texas. But talk just briefly about, because we got to get to all the Dolphins talk. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Camp opening up this week. Yep. Tyreek Hill owning the rest of the league like he's known to do. Okay. But you give your synopsis, who you are, and then I'll do the same. And then we'll talk about what we're going to bring to the show, who we are, if you will. But the floor is yours.
I think what I bring is more of the old school approach to what this show is going to be like. I was born and raised in Miami/Hollywood, Florida. My dad and I, we had season tickets in '66, and we had them all the way up to the summer of '72 when I got moved here kicking and screaming between my sophomore and junior year of high school. That was also the year the Dolphins went undefeated. I've been a fan since the opening kickoff, and I think what I'm going to bring, Michael, is you're an analytical guy. You love the stats, but I think what I'm going to bring is I'm just going to bring the emotions of the fans that we have out there. And if there's a bad call, if there's oh my God, I can't believe that happened, I'm going to be here to say it so the rest of the fans can chime in.
That's perfectly put. I mean, I give that a C+.
I'll take it.
But here, we've got Ryan Davis is here. We got new fans coming to the show. This is so exciting. We got South Carolina in the house. We got Houston in the house. This is very exciting. I'm 31 years old, which means the Dolphins have basically been dog poop for my entire life. But what we're here to do is we want to be – there's so many podcasts out there that are done by people, in my opinion, not necessarily just Dolphin fans, but just fans as general, that don't give a platform to the people. Like, we want to hear from fans, right? This show, Bottoms Up, Fins Up, it's in the name, right? If you're sipping on a Diet Coke with cherry and vanilla and you're drinking that after a loss, bottoms up. Come hang out with us. Let's talk about the game together. If you're sipping on a Michelob Ultra, you drown that Michelob Ultra and you come hang out with us.
Yeah,
and yes, the answer is what?
I'm tired of pissing and moaning just to you after a game.
Yeah, it's getting a little tiring, to be honest with you, just hearing the phone call. Now we've got a little bit of a platform. And people who ask, right, in my Fins Cup, this is not vodka, okay? This is, and we got, Steve has been a Dolphin fan since 1970, right? We are here to talk Dolphins football as fans. And yes, I haven't had one alcoholic beverage today. I haven't had any drugs put in my system, happy pills, whatever. I'm like this all the time. Okay, when I'm talking Dolphins football, I talk with my hands. I'm half Italian. Okay, we're here to talk Dolphins football. So let's get to it. We've done enough intros. We've done
right.
5 minutes of intro. Let's get straight to it.
I'm ready.
All right. So Omar Kelly, you're familiar with Omar Kelly.
I am.
He's got some assessments of the first couple of days of camp. Today, we wrapped up day 2 of camp. We've got Tua in the news. We've got Tyreek Hill in the news. We're going to reference some of the more well-known writers of Dolphins Twitter. Omar Kelly, Adam Beasley, 2 of the guys we're going to talk about on today's show. We'll make sure to tag them. But I'll tell you what Omar Kelly tweeted today. You give me your thoughts. Mike McDaniel was happy with day 1 because he felt it was purposeful. Okay. In your assessment, give me a little bit of when McDaniel talks, it feels like Dolphin fans, maybe it's because he is a new coach, they're listening, right? We're vibing with McDaniel. He's wearing, do you know what Yeezys are?
Yes.
What are Yeezys?
He's wearing the shorts and the shoes and all kinds of stuff like that. I like McDaniel. What?
What's your favorite version of the Yeezy?
I like the silver cup. You know,
oh my God.
Take it in the car.
So made up. That is so made up. Get out of here. Okay, we'll move on from shoe assessment because that segment of the show clearly flopped. But give me your assessment on McDaniel. When he says it's purposeful, do you believe when he says something like that, he believes it, or is he just speaking to speak?
I think Omar Kelly.
Not Omar Kelly, McDaniel. When McDaniel says it's purposeful, that's a quote from Mike McDaniel.
When he says something, there is a reason behind it, okay? I do like the fact, and I think when he says it's purposeful, I think guys are starting to kind of figure out his style. They've got some new assistants, but I think the players, without going out and drinking with them and things like that, I think the players actually like him. I think he's, closer to their age than a lot of these retread coaches. And I think Flores was so distant from these guys that they felt like he couldn't be approached. Did
you like Flores as a coach? Like, were you a Flores guy? I know the answer to this, but I'm just asking so the masses can hear.
In the beginning, I was, because I thought a change was, you know what? I would have been happy with you as the coach if it meant Adam Gase being fired. But I think
who would you take real quick in a street fight, Adam Gase or Brian Flores?
Oh, Flores would just beat the crap out of him.
Okay.
Flores was a beast. Wondering. But I'm telling you what Flores is that he is a Bill Belichick disciple and a clone. Belichick doesn't want to be close to any of his players. He wants to rule by fear and micromanage. And I think that's how Flores came in and approached this whole team when he got here.
It's interesting you bring up McDaniel. Omar Kelly also tweeted Xavier Howard, who Xavier Howard has been in the news, right? In the last couple of years. He's not happy with his contract. He's one of the better defensive players in the league. He was quoted today as saying that he loves how McDaniel is showing respect to the veteran players, mostly to guys like him, Teron Armstead, who sat out a majority of the first 2 days. Melvin Ingram, they tried to sit him out of respect.
Right.
And, Melvin Ingram forced his way on the field. McDaniel just seems, and I know it's early, but I don't care. Like I don't care that it's early. I don't care if this is going over the edge. I like McDaniel. I like McDaniel. McDaniel is fun. He's vibrant. He's got it going on. It's hard to explain. Like, I'm attracted to the guy. I like the guy. I would want to go with him to the beach and wear matching Speedos and split a 6-pack of Mike's Killer Lemonade. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't want to do any of those things with you. I want to do it with him. He seems,
I look pretty good in a Speedo, though, I got to admit. So.
Well, I'm just telling you, I don't need to know that. I don't need it. But I like McDaniel. I like what's going on.
I think where McDaniel endeared himself was when they had the video of him on the plane coming from Frisco to here, and he's sitting there and he's calling out Tua, and I think he called Tua on the phone while he was on the plane.
He did.
this is a quarterback that, everybody knows, everybody's criticizing, all the national guys. This is a guy who is, Flores beat him up pretty good. And I think by reaching out to Tua on that first day, I think meant a lot to not only Tua, but a lot of the players.
We got Andrew in the house, Mr. Andrew Bond. So good to have him here.
Wow,
Thank
Andrew,
you so much
welcome.
for listening. Marlo wished us well on our inaugural show. That's awesome. Thank you so much. We're being listened to in like 5 different states. That's the coolest thing ever.
It's amazing.
So I do want to touch on something that Tyreek Hill said today, and this is an exact quote. We're not going to be known for cursing here on the show, but this is what Tyreek Hill said, and I want to get your thoughts.
Try to beep it.
Okay, Tyreek Hill said teams will be scared poopless when they see him and Jalen Waddle on the same side. I cannot wait to watch this team play offense. Like, I'm so excited what I've seen today. And we're going to get to some of the negative tweets about Tua in a little bit, because some people are saying he's had a rough second day of practice. Like, I don't even know what that means. I guess these writers need something to write about. So yeah. Okay. No matching speedo. Well, look, I'm not saying, you're only seeing us from chest up. We could be wearing matching speedos right now. The masses just don't know. But your thoughts real quick on, can Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle be the best wide receiver combination in the league?
I don't know if they can be. There's a lot of good tandems out there. They can be as good as the offensive line will allow Tua to be in the upright position. I'm going to tell you, though, my opinion, and I'm going to bring throw in a lot of old stuff at y'all. And a lot of these people probably either weren't alive or in diapers. But what Tyreek Hill reminds me of was the year that Marino got drafted. They also drafted a guy out of Louisville named Mark Clayton. And Clayton was as cocky as they come. And they already had a guy named Duper. And he almost made the same exact comment that he goes, I don't know how defenses are going to be able to stop both of us when we're on the same side of the field. And I think what Clayton was trying to do was take some of the pressure off of, even though Marino was only a rookie, this is the same concept. I think Hill is coming in, trying to take a lot of the negative stuff off of Tua and, bring it on himself and just let him be the guy right now. And I like that.
I love that. I love Tyreek Hill. I can't believe I'm saying that. And truthfully, he had an incident of domestic violence. Let's not hide what he did in the past. I hate that. I hate that aspect of him. I'm going to talk about what he's done since he's landed in Miami. He's been nothing but a good teammate from what it seems like. He's one of the best wide receivers in the league, and he seems to have a genuine connection with his teammates. It's so hard to replicate guys like Tyreek Hill, it feels like. He reminds me a lot. He's a much better player in his league than this guy. He reminds me a lot of Draymond Green, that he likes to talk. He can back it up. It's just, it's one of these things that I like Tyreek Hill as a Dolphin. I think he was a great move for the Dolphins as a whole, player-wise.
No question.
As a person, we've got some issues, he and I. We'll work it out eventually, him and I. But I just feel like he's been a great member of the Dolphins organization since he's gotten here. And I, for one, you're of the generation that I'm sure you don't like how much he talks. How much he goes out there. I'm not saying you necessarily, but like,
I love it.
That's what I'm saying.
I love it.
Right, but your generation, the older crowd probably has again, not you, but fans of your age, right? Your age demographic.
We're used to the guys in the past, Paul Warfield, Zonka. Warfield tore up teams every week. And you never heard a word out of him. Okay, not a peep. These guys used to go out there, do their job, and shut their mouth. The only difference.
So
what
do you like that? I mean, do you like the transition of player from that Paul Warfield, Mark Clayton, Nick Buoniconti to the guys now? Like, do you have a preference of, or do you like a decent mixture of both?
I want a guy, and I want a guy that's going to take my team to the Super Bowl, and I can buy 50 different world champion Dolphin shirts and hats. I don't care, minus the, let's not be domestic violence, something stupid, something illegal. If a guy goes out there and talks crap and can back it up, and he can perform on the field, and he's a good guy off the field, I don't care.
Let me ask you this.
Care.
You just brought this up. If the Dolphins were to win the Super Bowl, give me a realistic number on what you would spend on Lid's locker room on memorabilia. Like, give me an idea. Give me a ballpark. And I don't want you to end up getting divorced from, my mother, your wife. I'm just saying, like, give me an amount. Give me a general ballpark.
So much Lids. It would be all the other bootleg stuff that I'd be sending away for. And I'd say you're probably looking at probably a cool $20K.
$20K?
Sure.
Okay. Would you buy the replica ring hat? That's good. You know what have you seen those? It has like the Super Bowl ring.
Yes.
And it's got like we would have to have that.
That would be the first thing I would buy. They'll love the ring hat.
Okay, so you'd have to have the polo with the Super Bowl logo on it. We'd have to have the multiple T-shirts with from the locker room, and then all the characters of the guys. You have to have the hoodie. You'd have to have the towel. We'd have to get the pencil set. We'd have to get it all. I mean, we'd probably have to buy a separate house for all of that. But let's get back to Dolphins talk. That's why people are here. But the other thing of us, we like to go on little tangents. We're going to have fun. We want to have fun with you. That's why we're here. You go to work every day. You get beat up at work. We don't want you to come here and feel like we're just boring you to death. We're here to have a little fun. Absolutely. All right, we're here to mix it up. Take the top button off. All right, throw out your favorite polo shirt. Let's have a good time. Yes.
It's interesting. You were talking about McDaniel real quick, and
yes,
sometimes I'm just going to throw out stuff as I think of them, because if I don't, I won't remember them.
That's fair.
Unlike Jimmy Johnson, when Johnson came in after, first of all, any guy who has the NAD to replace not only Tom Landry, but Don Shula, the guy's a beast. I got to give him credit for replacing those two legends. But he came aboard, and the first thing he did was basically alienate Don Shula. Don't come in the locker room. What I like about McDaniel is I think McDaniel is trying to bring back some of the old, the good feelings. He's got Patrick Surtain. He's got Sam Madison. He's got Wes Welker on the staff. These are guys, I know Surtain and Madison have both been Pro Bowlers. These are guys who can relate to these guys, and I think McDaniel has endeared himself by making some of these maybe moves that people might scratch their heads on.
That's fair. Some other updates today from Omar Kelly and Adam Beasley. Melvin Ingram, day one yesterday, forced his way onto the field for 11-on-11 drills. Love that. Love that he is that type of competitor, wants to get on the field. McDaniel describes himself as an aggressive kind of coach. He likes big plays. He likes speed. He's going to have to temper some of those tendencies early in the season, which makes sense. Teron Armstead. Who would you take in a fight, me or Teron Armstead?
God, I'd probably have to flip a coin on that one.
Do you think? How long do you think I would last in a boxing match with Teron Armstead?
One punch and you're dead. You're done.
Dead? You said dead. Dead or done?
I meant the word done. You'd be done on the floor and the fight would be dead.
Do you think that there's one guy on the Dolphins roster currently that I could take in a boxing match?
Probably McDaniel's wife.
Oh my God. Okay. She's not on the active roster, you clown.
Maybe the kicker.
He's good. Our new punter is phenomenal. Thomas Morstead. He's like 62 years old, I feel like. But the guy can just punt it. He's a great kicker. Tua on his haters. If I do not acknowledge you, I don't hear you. That's pretty profound. Do you have the same mantra in your personal life to all of your haters? If you don't acknowledge them, you don't hear them.
Well, but by him saying, if I don't acknowledge it, let's face it, he's got rabbit ears like everybody else, okay? But what I think he's got to learn to do is just tune it all out. And I think guys like, Bridgewater and Armstead and some of these other veterans, I think are going to be a tremendous influence. I mean, not only was Tua, battling, the sports writers and the fans and everybody else, he'd get blasted by his own coach inside the locker room in front of the whole team. So, yeah, I think this is a do-over for him. This is a do-over, and I think he's got to come out and he's got to do it from day one. No more excuses. No more excuses.
And we'll talk about Tua a little bit more in a little bit. But two more thoughts from Omar Kelly. Jalen Phillips is impressing everybody at camp, it seems like. Omar quoted, he's growing and you can tell. A healthy Jalen Phillips year 2 is going to be one of the more impactful guys, not only on the defense, but on the team as a whole. The guy's got all-pro written all over him.
And I think that's where Ingram comes in. I think Ingram is already starting to work with him.
I agree. The other 3 guys from day 2 today, quoted by Omar Kelly that excelled, Jalen Waddle, Javon Holland, and Austin Jackson. You're not a big Austin Jackson guy from his performance from last year. And as I can tell the audience, quote, while at Hooters, why in the world is Austin Jackson still playing in this game? So hopefully Austin Jackson can take a step forward to impress you. Now, one quote from Adam Beasley. There were conflicting reports today from day 2 that Tua had a quote-unquote rough second half of practice. Let's talk a little bit more about Tua. To me, struggling in a practice means nothing because it's all about the game. My question to you is, at this point next year, well, I guess let me start the conversation off with that question. At this point next year, is Tua Tagovailoa the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to explain it, or do you just want to stay with yes?
I'll tell you what.
Only if you want. You don't have to.
I say so because I'm going to tell you what. I think fundamentally, I think he's sound. He has, and this is quoting Marino, he has great footwork. He has a great presence on the field. And he's left-handed. I like the fact that he's left-handed. That throws another new wrinkle into a team getting ready for getting their defensive plan set up for Sunday. I just think that with the addition of Connor Williams and Armstead, and maybe picking up that center that I like. What's that guy's name from the Bears?
Trotter?
Yeah. And I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting that McDaniel made the comment, we didn't sign Connor Williams to play center, but that's what we're looking at. I thought that was a little bit of a strange comment. What do you think about that?
No, I trust the coaching staff as a whole to put these guys in the best possible position to succeed. And I don't care where that is. If Dieter wins the center spot and they have to slide Williams to guard, have no problem with that. Don't forget about guys like Robert Hunt, Solomon Kinley. That's legitimate depth that this team is now building up in the trenches. My thing with Tua is, And we talked about it on the show from Tuesday with the four of us that if you guys have not listened to, head on over to Finn's Talk Network. You can find that show from Tuesday. A lot of great insight. We went for over an hour on Tuesday, literally talking Dolphins football, which was awesome. Great time. So check that show out. Guys like Joe Burrow have Jamar Chase. Justin Herbert with the Chargers has Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, Mike Williams. Josh Allen was nothing that was spectacular until, by the way, in his third year, which Tua is in now, he got Stephon Diggs.
Yep.
I don't know. Tua Tagovailoa has a winning record as a quarterback in his first 3 years with a coach that did not like him, that did not want to put him in positions to succeed. I don't understand with the fan base what more you guys want from him when the best weapon that they gave him was Devontae Parker and an inconsistent Mike Gesicki. They haven't given him a legitimate running game whatsoever until this year. You could even argue even this year. Mostert is a nice player. Edmonds is a nice player. Sony Michel, nice player. The fullback that they picked up, he's going to help. But they need a consistent running game and consistent line play that he has not had in 3 years.
I agree.
In the first 2 years, I should say.
I agree. And, Devontae Parker, who for every unbelievable great catch that he made, he would spend 4 weeks on the injured list. He could never stay healthy. So what you're looking at while Tua's been there is Jakeem Grant, Isaiah Ford, Preston Williams, who also can't stay healthy. Mac Hollins.
Albert Wilson.
Albert Wilson. I really did like Mac Hollins. I hated that they lost Mac Hollins. Yeah. But those other three guys that I just named, I mean, what do you expect out of this guy? I mean, this is the test. He's going to have 2 burners, and he's, like you said, a running game and a coach that believes in him. And if the national guys just get off his butt, you know what? I really don't care that he had, oh my God, a bad second half of day number 2 of training camp. I don't care. All I care about is nobody get hurt, have a good training camp, and be ready for week 1. I don't care if he throws an interception in an exhibition game. I don't care.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let me ask you this. I mean, just from a 360 view, which is mostly what we're doing. It's our pilot show. What do you feel like is the biggest weakness on the offensive side and then the defensive side of the ball? Where do you see this team needing to excel the most? And we probably have touched on it a little bit offensively. I think you and I are on the same page. But just real quick, defensively and offensively, where do you feel like this team needs to take steps forward in order for this team to make the playoffs this year?
They've got to get a running game going, okay? Yep. How many games did you and I sit there and watch 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1? We couldn't get a friggin' yard. Is that Gaskin's fault? I don't know. Is that Lindsey's fault? I don't know. Is it the blockers' fault? I don't know. But I think they've got some guys now who can hit the hole and then bounce to the outside. I think we've got some legitimate speed with Mostert. I like the guy from Arizona.
Chase Edmonds.
I think running game has to improve.
I agree.
Defensively, I think our linebackers have to be more athletic. I'm tired of these running backs killing us out of the backfield and the tight ends. I think Javon Holland is going to be an all-pro. I like Brandon Jones. I like Eric Rowe.
Welcome Horns.
That's right. I love our corners. But I think our linebackers have to get more athletic. And I think we need to get to the quarterback more.
And this is the thing, man. And Cap for Life says running game for me is very suspect besides the offensive line. It's true, man. I mean, that's what it ultimately comes down to. Here's what I want to express to fans as we get into the season. My personal belief, this is a playoff team. It is. You look at the roster, they have enough talent to go to the playoffs.
I agree.
If Tua can be a 17 out of 24, 25 type of guy, puts him in that 68% completion percentage range, 200 to 220 yards a game, couple scores, don't turn the ball over, win games 21-10, 21-14. They're good enough to go to the playoffs. There's nobody in. And look, I may be looking at it as a glass half full kind of guy. I haven't been that way as a Dolphins fan my entire life. But starting this show, I'm going to be that way. I feel like this team is good enough.
Yeah. I think the West.
I don't know what I'm missing with Dolphin fans. Some clown on Twitter said that they're going 8-9 or 9-8.
Yeah, I saw that. I gave him an answer on that one.
Well, my thing is stop tweeting out of your mother's basement when you work at CVS and you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Sorry. I mean, that's your opinion. I respect his opinion. I would also respect he doesn't put out any more content.
And I requested that.
So, and Marla asked, are they going to be better than 9-8 this season? Your prediction, we'll get into a game-by-game breakdown on a future episode, but just off the cuff, do you believe that this team is better than a 9-8 team?
First of all, look at Marla coming up with a 9-8.
Clutch. Out of the Northeast, Rockville, Maryland, representing.
3rd and 1. I'm giving Marla the ball because she's clutch. No question.
Get it done. She can get it done. She can get the play done.
I think they're going to be 12-5.
Oh, okay. You woke up today. You ate your Wheaties. You went on your 2-mile walk. You took the dogs on a walk this evening. You're feeling froggy, feeling frisky.
I like it. 12-5. I think they split with Buffalo, and then there'll be probably 4 other losses that the refs will screw us in the end. But I'm picking 12-5, and I'm picking a wild card, dude.
Should we tell the people now that anytime we do a show after a game during the season, if we lose, we're going to blame the refs in one way or the other? It's just how we are. It's what we do.
Most likely,
yeah. No, that's fair. No, man, and we're going to keep this show. We're going to wrap up here in a couple minutes.
Why?
Why?
Yeah,
because we need
rolling, man. We haven't even gotten to number 3 yet,
We've gotten through most of number 3. Let me ask you this on Tyreek Hill real quick. All right, let's get to what EM Dolphin fan says. Tua needs to be a top 10 to 12 quarterback for the Dolphins to be a legitimate playoff contender, considering our strength of schedule. See, it's interesting. First of all, thank you so much for tuning in to a new show. We know you could be doing a lot of things tonight, like watching, reruns of Law and Order or 2.5 Men or whatever. So thank you for spending the time with us tonight.
We appreciate everybody listening. Thank you.
Can I ask you something about strength of schedule, which I've never understood? Why does it matter now? Like, no one's played any games yet. No one knows what the strength of schedule is going to be.
You don't know what it's going to be, but you can, how many times have you sat down with your buddies and the schedules just come out and you go, win.
Zero.
It's a guessing game, but it's just an assumption with everything being equal.
Sure.
If you play Kansas City in Kansas City, good chance you're going to lose. If you're going to, you've got them going 17-0 next year. So
I didn't say that.
But I like
you're the one who's saying 12-5.
I like his comment about Tua. And I'll tell you what, realistically, I don't think 10-12 is that big of a hurdle to ask him to do. I really don't.
I don't either. And Cat for Life says, Tua faces Buffalo twice, his former coach, the guy who was rumored to replace him last season, and the guy who was drafted before him, and Aaron Rodgers. No pressure. It's a Disney movie scenario. That's fair. No, I mean, first of all, Cat for Life, again, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, Cat for Life.
I think the thing that if I'm Tua Tagovailoa, I block all that out. None of that matters to me. I'm focused on get the ball to Tyreek Hill, Mike Gesicki, Jalen Waddle. Don't forget about, we haven't even talked about Cedric Wilson from Dallas yet. I like that pickup a lot. Your playmakers
kid from Texas Tech too.
Eric Izukanma. I'm going to learn how to say that. I practiced it earlier. I swear I did. We'll call him Easy E on the show. We'll refer to him as Easy E.
If you play for Texas Tech, if you're a receiver, you're catching 100 balls a year no matter what. That kid can play.
Sure. He can play. So Cedric Wilson too. Keep an eye in camp for Trent Sherfield and River Craft, receiving options to fill out the end of the roster. So a lot of great content tonight, Pops. Congrats on our first ever Miami Dolphins themed podcast for the Finch Talk Network. We're done, baby.
Thank you for including me. I'm excited now. I've got enough shirts to wear probably for the next 20 years. A new shirt every show, man.
Yeah, we got shirts and hats for the next 317 shows. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Shout out to our guy Bobby. Happy birthday. If you're on Twitter, Bobby. Yeah, if you're on Twitter, go ahead and find Bobby Melendez. Wish him a very happy birthday. We are going to end most shows with a little song that we like to do. We like to dance our way off of shows. So you guys better get used to it. We're going to, throughout the season, we hope you join us here. Join all of the amazing people at the Finch Talk Network. We are literally building something incredibly special, and we appreciate y'all tuning in. Until next time, baby. Yeah, you know what the vibe is. Let me see you, Pops. Let me see you dance, baby.
Fins up, baby. Fins up.
Yeah.